Hello everybody, Corey here. I'm going to go over the daily roundup for the YieldMax single stock ETFs and YBIT. And this will be for 20 August. So just a reminder, I'm not a qualified licensed investment or financial advisor. I just gather the data and present it to you. Please make sure you understand these YieldMax ETFs. There's way too many people that have lost a lot of money in these, and they're not exactly a set it and forget it type thing either. So I don't know that I would consider this passive income unless you're trying to do like YMAX or YMAG, and you build your own portfolio and then you just let it go, versus having to keep up with everything that's going on. But anyway, that's not why I'm here. We are here to do this. Now, for those of you that are new, just this right here, I'm showing you lots of data. It's lots of rolled up data for each ETF. I'm not going to read through this. I'm going to show them to you. You can pause the video so you can look at the data, and then you can play it, or you can just do screenshots as you're going through. I will be going through this probably even more quickly than normal, because I am running out of time this morning. And I didn't even go for a run this morning. But here we are. So, I don't know how many of you are new. I think I did go through this last week. But if you need me to explain what some of these are again, just let me know, and I will do that on the next video, but I don't have a lot of time for this one. So this section right here are going to be all of our trades. The first column C, that's the short premium received only, and the rest of this is just the normal trade data here for all of the ETFs. Except for Ulti, that's in a separate video, which I actually did this morning for the first time in a minute. So here we have all the net assets and the outstanding shares for each of these. And then we have the stock price as of close yesterday, the NAV, and then the difference between these two, TSMY. As a reminder, that will be brand new today. So that's why it doesn't have a stock price listed there. And then here we have, so Monday's close versus Tuesday's close. It doesn't seem right. I mean, I did do this yesterday. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't save the data. I did not. That's freaking awesome. So apparently I did not copy and paste the data because I was waiting on the trades to post. So that's awesome. So that means this data isn't going to be correct. And I could do a formula to drop it in there to fix that. However, shit, I guess I will, because otherwise it's going to mess up the next thing. So let me do this real quick. What did I do? Comma. All right. I guess the data has to load now. And then the question is, which one did I do that on? I did it on the wrong one. Awesome. I did it on my roll-up one versus on the dated tab. And now I'm rushing, and this isn't going to work. Okay, so let's skip this for now. Only because Now this thing is loading or thinking, or I don't know what it's doing. Let me at least put the formula here so it can be loading the data. All right, so that's going to load. So we'll look here at, I did end up updating this as far as the days to recovery. Of course, we know the stock tanked right before ex-dividend date, the whole market did, right? And so once the market started coming back up, a lot of these recovered really quickly compared to normal. Now, as a reminder, this is when they first recovered, not necessarily meaning they stayed recovered. So, for example, you can see Coney there is on a 55% recovery, but it also says they recovered after 9 days. They did, and then it went back down. But you can see where these are at. Abney, Dizzo, and Misty are the only ones that are at least, you know, in the negative and haven't recovered any. Abney being the worst, and I don't know if that's I think that's because of Airbnb earnings, specifically, right? But this, I went back and looked all these up, but that's why these look, you know, abnormal. I did look at the short ETFs. None of them have recovered yet, but I did look at them, and I say none. There's only 2 that have actually paid out there, but they hadn't recovered at all yet on any day. But yeah, so AH is the number of days, and AI is just the ranking of them. But it's not normal for these to be like that and have so many a couple of days afterwards and stuff, which I'm sure most of you already know this. So I have the data now. Nope, I have the data for the YieldMax, but then I didn't think to do, nope, I didn't think to do it for the underlying. So let me do the underlying real quick. And then we'll let that load. We'll go back here. Okay, so as far as the YieldMax ETFs here, you can see yesterday we have a mixed bag here. So any of these that are outside of more or less of the 1%, we have AIYY was down 2, Coney was down 3%, Murney was down 2%, Squee was down 2%, Zomo was down 3%. And then it looks like dips and fiat were up 2%. So that's everything. Of course, you have all the cents in the data there if you want to see that. That's interesting because on my screen it shows that this is still loading. But here it's actually there. All right, whatever. So if we look at our underline here, and now our color code things are messed up, and I wonder if it's because on mine it's showing it loading. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So actually it's showing on my screen now. Oh, but that could be a problem, is that, so remember yesterday or the day before when I did this, I noticed a lot of my color codes were messed up, and I'm wondering, I had to go back to an old sheet to get the formatting and bring it over, which then makes me wonder if something got messed up here. I don't know. I'm going to have to mark it to look at it. No. Yeah. Because clearly something's wrong even when I look at my regular one. So I'm going to mark this as red and try to remember why I marked it as red later, but I don't have time to try to figure that out right this second. So I apologize, but our color codes are not correct here on the YieldMax and underline as far as which ones did the best there. But looking real quick, AI went down 4% yesterday. BABO went down 3%. Coin was down 4%. Moderna was down 3%. NVIDIA down 2%. And then we have our good one that was actually up, which was PayPal was up 4%. Squee down 3%. Zomo down 3%. TSM, we don't have that till today. And then everything else was around 1%, 0 and 1. So if I close that and try to compare, even though our color codes are wrong, AI was worse, which means AIYY did better by 2%. Same thing, BABO did better by 2%. And then Marnie did better by 2%. PayPal did better by about 2%. So it looks like our color code issue is with U, because this one should not be blue, so our issue is actually with column U itself. All right, now that's irritating me. This is saying if Z2 is, yeah, that's not right. Okay, there should be a dollar sign there. That still didn't fix it. I might have to remove it and just add it back all together. Yeah, I don't know why. All right, I'm sorry. Let's keep going because I'm out of time. So here, this will just give you a quick look of the maximum strike prices or minimum strike prices as far as the short goes, where we're at. You can see the ones that are max or over. And then we have our short values as far as how does this affect the stock price. And then we have our synthetics here, same thing. How many synthetics we have, the strike price, except for in this case we have it if it has multiple strike prices here. Yeah, and then if we're above or below it, and then again how it affects the stock price. And this is my data check, and then I changed this over here, but I had changed it probably on the main tab, so maybe we will talk about this later. I've already briefly talked about it at one point this week on something I was working on. But anyway, I apologize for all the stuff being messed up here, and I'll work through it as soon as I can. Anyway, I'll talk with y'all later. Bye.